Hi everybody, now I just want to show you something. I bought my wife for my trouble and strife, we call it wife in Cockney rhyming slang. It's a good educational program, isn't it? I bought myself a Fuji HS20 EXR. Now it's a very simple little camera, it's nice to hold. Now and the reason I bought it is because I do a lot of videos. I thought it'd be nice to have a second video camera, and it's one my wife, because it's a still camera as well, of course, it's a bridge. My wife can use it to take pictures. Even she, I am quite certain, will be able to take pictures with this. So what's included in the box? It seems traditional to tell you. A DVD, don't know what that's about, but I'll look at it later. Some paperwork. 2 cables, whoa, a rather nice strap, Fuji on it, well that's nice, lens cap, a little bit of string, oh that might be for holding on the lens cap, lens hood, and 4 batteries. Well, that should be right, shouldn't it? Well, let's have a little closer look at it, and we'll do a little comparison, and I'll be nasty, I'll do a comparison with the Canon D7. Right, well, batteries, very simple, they just go in there, very simple, quite nicely put together to be able to put those in. Memory card, strangely enough, easy to put in, but to me it went in the wrong way around. I mean, I first expected to put it in that way around, it won't allow it, so great, foolproof, put it in that way around and just press it down, closed. Now we can take a picture, so we switch it on. And of course it won't let me take a picture, which I find very annoying. It wants me to sort out the language and do the menu. So I'll do that, and while you have a cup of tea, or Rosie Lee, as we say in East London. So I'll get back to you in a minute. Right, now we've put the batteries in, so what's the first impression? Well, to me the first impression is it's very nice to hold. As I say, my wife should be able to use this, no problem at all. It's got a very long zoom on it that goes up to 720mm. Now, okay, I can imagine the f-stop would be pretty bad, but we'll have a little look, see what quality it gives. Now, compared with the 7D, it is of course a lot smaller. So let's have a look at it against a 400D, and it's not that different to the 400D in size. It's got the same sort of feel to it. It's slightly lighter, but not an awful lot lighter. And it is a real camera. Now, what do I mean by a real camera? To me, a real camera is one that you look through. Now, this has got, it's not a direct link, it's an electronic link through the viewfinder. It seems to work beautifully. It's also got the screen on the back that is very manoeuvrable. So it's got the 2 possibilities, but to me, holding a camera like that and trying to take pictures, no, I'm sorry, that's not a camera. One you look through is a camera, and the bridge cameras are an ideal, to me, an ideal starter camera for someone just getting into photography. They'll upgrade to a DSLR eventually. Although I'm not sure this isn't called a DSLR really, because you do actually see through the viewfinder what comes through the lens. But anyway, it's a bridge camera, known as that, and there are several makes. Right, I've read through the book. This camera does everything. It's even got a setting for photographing cats, and another one for photographing dogs. I mean, what happens if you've got a very small dog and a very big cat? But anyway, it seems to do everything except make the coffee, and I'm not sure it doesn't do that yet. Very easy to set, very easy to use. Lots of buttons on the back, but they are, once you know what they do, it's very simple. The one thing I haven't got into yet is how to set it. It actually will follow faces, so and keep them in focus. It will recognise that. But when things get this complicated, isn't it easier just to learn photography? I mean, you need a degree. Anyway, it's time we go. I don't think there's any point in going into more details about it. Let's have a look at some pictures it takes, and then we'll compare them with the D7 or the 7D. Well, here's the first video test really, compared with the 7D. You've been watching the 7D up to now. This is the Fuji film. You're looking at a camera that is not even a third of the price of the 7D. In low light at 800 ASA, so it's quite a disadvantage for the Fuji. I'm interested to see what it looks like. You'll know before I do. I'll go and have a look. Well, what do we think? Major reaction is that the contrast is a lot higher. So probably what we're going to have to do when using it is just add a bit more light coming in with a reflector, a little bit of a filling, to just avoid that contrast, that extra contrast that we get from the 7D. The sound, I think, is pretty good. It's obviously different, but it's pretty good. Colour balance, or the white balance, I haven't quite got right, so I think that's not fair to compare the colour. That's just a matter of adjustment to these particular studio lights, which in fact I've got two lights on, both of them are different colour balance anyway, or white balance anyway. So basically I'm pretty pleased with it for a camera that costs £230, £240. You can get one on my website, of course, and my shop, mccaulder.com. But now let's go outside and let's take some pictures and compare them, because that's after all what it's made for, is taking photographs. Video is just a secondary thing. So we'll take it outside and we'll compare. We'll have a little play, okay? So the first thing I did was do a quick snapshot. Now, I did a quick snapshot with the 7D and the Fuji. This is the 7D. Now just have a little note at the gravel in the background that's out of focus, because that's where the major difference is with the Fuji that I'll show you now. So have a look at the gravel here. Now what it appears to be is anything that's out of focus seems to have a sort of lens aberration look to it, rather just an out of focus look. It's almost a little double image that happens. Other than that, I think it looks very similar to the 7D. Now, of course, it's not the same quality. When I blow it up, you can obviously see the difference, and I'll show you what I mean. Well, here's a very big enlargement. Now, this is a massive enlargement from the 7D, and this is the same thing from the Fuji. Now, we'll go in even closer, and then you can see the difference. So, this is the Fuji. Enormous enlargement. I mean, I really haven't worked out what size it would be, but it would be a really big print. So we can move on to the Canon, and there we go. Again, an enormous enlargement. Now that, of course, comes of no surprise, really. It's just interesting to bear in mind that the Fuji has 16 million megapixel or 16 megapixel sensor, and the Canon 7D has a 17 megapixel capture. Well, now's the time to move on to talk about the lens. Well, this is a 24mm view, which is its most wide angle, which is pretty good. It's not an awful lot of distortion, really. So I'm quite pleased with that. Now, if we look at the little red arrow that I've put on, that's where we're going to zoom into. So now this is where we can zoom to with the 720mm lens. Wow, now that is quite a zoom. Of course it's necessary because it's a fixed lens camera, as all bridge cameras are, but I find that absolutely amazing, and the quality didn't look bad either. Now, talking about quality, it's about time we moved on to the ISO. This is the 12,400 setting. I'm actually surprised there's not more noise than that. And of course, as we go down from 6.2 to 100, the difference, of course, comes back to normal, which is great. I mean, I find it very good quality. Considering that it's not a professional camera, and its really only competitor is the more expensive or medium price compacts. They've got no viewfinder. Well, now what do we think? I suppose it's the jury's out. Let's well, the jury's back in. I had to resort in the end to the instruction book. This camera does everything. It'll even recognise breeds of dogs, I'm told, or as I read. It won't guarantee it'll recognise all breeds of dogs. Anyway, what's the answer? Picture quality I was amazed at, very, very good for the price level and for what it is. It's a bridge camera, mustn't forget that. A little complicated in the menu. By the time you've read that, you really could have learned photography. But anyway, would I recommend it? Not for video, that's for sure. The zoom is very, very, not stiff, but it's just not smooth. The autofocus to me is the same problem. It tends to jump all over the place. It almost needs Prozac. And the manual focus, the same thing. It's probably because of the electronic viewfinder. You focus and then the viewfinder focuses, and then you go backwards and forwards all the time. I would recommend it to someone who's willing to learn everything, because it's got so many things. It's probably one of the best bridge cameras for quality, but I'm afraid for video, no. So you won't be able to buy it on my shop, because I only have things on my shop that I really recommend. It's a shame, because the quality is great. Bye!